Has he had the child for an entire weekend by himself?
No.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, is Ryan ready? Not you, not Mr. Wagner. Is Ryan ready to have full overnight weekends with Mr. Wagner, in your opinion?
Where do you currently work?
Currently work in Beaumont at Total right now, but I'm supposed to be getting laid off tonight.
Is that confirmed? Do you know for sure that you're getting laid off?
Yeah, they told me yesterday.
Who does your child live with?
He lives with me.
And who makes the important day-to-day decisions for your child?
I do.
Do you have any concerns about being able to co-parent with Mr. Wagner in making decisions for your child?
Yes and no. I mean, so far the child's lived with me. He's always lived with me. I've never spent a night without the child, other than, here and there, he has spent the night with his dad a couple of times. Other than, where he goes to school, stuff like that, since he lives with me, since I take him to the doctor, since I do that, I would like to.
Would you have any concerns about Mr. Wagner having visitation rights to the child, including the right for the child to stay with him overnights?
I think it should be a mutual agreement upon basis.
No, that can't happen.
No?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, I believe he's safe with his father, so.
And what kind of health insurance do you currently have for Ryan?
Ryan has United Healthcare, Texas Medicaid.
Okay.
I do work, but it's minimum wage.
And your job doesn't have any affordable private health insurance for you?
No, sir.
All right. And since when did you tell Wagner, has Mr. Wagner known that have you told Mr. Wagner that he was the father when he was born?
Hold on, Mr. McNulty. Miss Mathis, is there someplace you can go that's quiet?
Oh, give me one.
I can't hear you over all the background noise. Background noise just overtakes all the stuff you're trying to tell me, and I can't hear it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead and re-ask your last question, Mr. McNulty, for the record.
Ms. Mathis, since Ryan was born, has Mr. Wagner provided any financial assistance to help with his childcare expenses?
He has bought diapers a few times. He did give me money this past week, $100, and then he just gave me 60 the other day and he did help with daycare one time. I pay $250 every 2 weeks, so I pay about $500 a month in daycare just to go to work.
Are you going to want the court today to consider ordering Mr. Wagner to pay any back child support or retroactive support?
Yes.
Okay. And so since your child was born, he was born November 2022, how much support has Mr. Wagner given to you?
He's actually helped me half the child's life. I know when the baby was first born, I lived with my mother for about 3 months, and then I've been living there again for about 4. So only half of that.
So you and your child is about
almost a year old.
Almost a year old. So are you just asking for 6 months of retroactive support?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. At this no further questions. I pass the witness.
Call your next witness.
This time the state will call Mr. Wagner.
Sir.
Mr. Wagner, do you have any other minor biological children who are below the age of 18?
Yes.
All right. How many other minor biological children do you have?
1.
And does this child live in the household with you?
No, sir.
Are you ordered to provide support to this other child?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. And where do you currently work?
Currently work in Beaumont at Total right now, but I'm supposed to be getting laid off tonight.
Is that confirmed? Do you know for sure that you're getting laid off?
Yeah, they told me yesterday.
Okay. What how much were you making working there?
I was making $28 an hour.
What kind of work was that?
I was a Boilermaker.
Okay. And were you working full time there, 40 hours a week?
Yes, 40 hours a week.
Were you working any overtime?
Not rare, like it wasn't promised.
Okay. How long have you been working there?
About 4 weeks.
So this is just a job you just started, and that now that job is about to end today.
Yeah, like it's a construction job.
So for the last 6 months, you heard Miss Mathis' testimony that she's asking for 6 months of retroactive support. What kind of work were you doing for the last 6 months?
I was actually laid off most of that. Like when she was pregnant, like I worked all the way up through when she was pregnant, and then I was laid off for a while. Like I've only made like $30,000 this year.
All right, and is that what? And did you have any sort of health conditions that would prevent you from being able to work full time?
No, sir. I couldn't. Everybody I knew didn't have a spot open. I couldn't get wrecked in anywhere, and it was just everybody I knew was laid off.
What is the reason you're being laid off from this current job?
It's over with.
Okay, so it was a temporary project.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of when you might be starting again at a different job?
Yes, I'm gonna be starting Monday.
Okay, where are you going to be starting at?
Valero with B&E.
And what are you going to be making there?
25. I'm gonna be
25 an hour.
a pipe fitter 3.
And you expect to be working the 40-hour a week full time at this new job?
40 hours a week for about 8 months, hopefully.
Oh. And do these jobs? It sounds like these are temporary jobs that you're doing. They don't do they provide any health insurance?
They do, but it's about half the check. It's really high.
All right, I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Call your next witness.
I have no other witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Wagner, you're a Boilermaker?
Yes, sir.
Are you in the union?
No, sir.
Okay. Some are, some aren't. And that's okay. You got to be in the union.
I'm trying to become a pipe fitter, honestly, sir. So I'm starting out at the bottom on
Yep.
this other job,
Yep.
but it's because I'm tired of these little, I
I
go out
get
there
it.
boiler making and
I know. I'm from the area. I know how it works. I had lots of friends that were Boilermakers, and they're doing the same thing you're doing. They're trying to get out of that Boilermaker stuff and get into pipe fitting because it's just more consistent.
yes, sir.
But you do have to take the pay cut, right?
Yes, sir.
But the jobs are more consistent. It gives you more ceiling, so you can stay working longer and start making more money after that way. That
Yes,
makes
sir.
sense. Okay. What I was really hoping, Mr. Wagner, was that if you were in the union, then they could provide health insurance benefits for the child. But that's neither here nor there. Okay.
If I can get on at the paper mill, that'd be great.
Right. I mean, right now, today, I got to take the situation as I find it. So,
Yes.
The last thing I want to do is order you to pay $800, $900 a month in health insurance premiums for a job that you may only have for 4 to 6 weeks. And we're
Yes,
going to be back in the same boat in 2 months that we're in now. So we're going to just keep the medical that we have on the child at this time, which is what Miss Mathis qualifies for. All right. So that's the easy part. That's just the money. The money is simple. Let me see what I can find out in regards to the visitation. So you guys, Miss Mathis, you and Mr. Wagner have been working together in regards to his visitation and contacts. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to advise you at some point in time in this hearing to continue to do that. But I have to give Mr. Wagner something specific in the court order, because if I don't, then that would give you the right, Miss Mathis, to shut down the visitation, and I can't have that. Okay. The parties don't have the unilateral right, which means the sole right to decide when and how the visitation is going to happen. Okay. If y'all are working together and raising the child, perfect. Keep doing that. But at least this way, Mr. Wagner knows he has a specific amount of contact rights he's entitled to, whether you and he are getting along or not, okay? So right now, Mr. Mathis has had some visitation, and the latest ones have been like just one night, overnight at a time.
He basically, I have the baby every day. Whenever he tries to come, before I have like really an open door policy unless I'm at work, you know, and the baby childcare or something like that. But he comes over
I know, but hold on, wait.
like
Wait.
almost every day.
That's great. And I want him to continue to do that, but see if you can focus on the question that I asked, okay? Has Mr. Wagner had the child overnight by himself?
Yes, he has before.
All right. Has he had the child for an entire weekend by himself?
No.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, is Ryan ready? Not you, not Mr. Wagner. Is Ryan ready to have full overnight weekends with Mr. Wagner? In your opinion?
No.
Tough question. Okay. But remember, the question is Ryan ready? Not his mom ready, not his dad ready. Is Ryan ready?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh.
It's okay. You know what, Miss Mathis, there's nothing wrong with that answer. I
Okay.
don't know is a valid answer.
Okay.
So now I'm going to ask you a mom question. Mom, do you want me to give Mr. Wagner full weekend visitations with Ryan today?
I don't.
Okay. If I said Mr. Wagner's going to have to do a few more one night overnight visits, how many more one night overnight visits do you think Mr. Wagner needs with Ryan before he gets weekend visitation?
About 30.
Okay. That's too many. And the reason why I say that, because 30 at 2 a month would take him 15
Oh, yeah.
minutes to do
Okay.
that.
Okay. I didn't know it was spaced out. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
if he was
30
doing it
hours.
every week, or if he was doing it every other day, then it wouldn't take him long. But
Right.
so you're thinking 30.
As in like 30 nights, because he's only been without me with him maybe 2-3 nights.
Okay, so
he's
we
fell out.
probably need 5 or 6 more of those before we just go full blown weekend.
Right.
Okay, and that's reasonable. That's reasonable. All right. Hold for me, Mr. Wagner. I haven't finished with you. I'm just trying to get mom's opinion first. I'm an old judge and I believe in ladies going first. All right. All right. Now I have another really stupid question. You ready, Miss Mathis?
Yes, sir.
Ryan's last name is Simmons. Now, your last name isn't Simmons. Mr. Wagner's last name isn't Simmons. So why does Ryan have the name Simmons?
It's my maiden name.
Okay. So, Miss Mathis, do you want Ryan to have your last name continue to be Simmons, even though that's not your name anymore?
I want Ryan to have his father's last name.
Mr. Wagner, do you agree? You think Ryan needs to have your last name?
Yes, sir.
Done. See how easy that was? But it wasn't a question that was asked. I need to get it squared away. All right. See, that was easy, a lot easier than I thought. All right. So, Mr. Wagner, my only real question at this point in time is that the mother believes, and I understand her position, that Ryan may not be ready just yet for wide open visitation for weekends and holidays. Okay. So let me ask you, Mr. Wagner, do you think that Ryan is ready for full weekend visitations with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you asking me to give you full blown weekends?
It would be nice because like oh crap. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you need to stop moving around.
Yes, sir. My phone's just about to die. I'm trying to make it up to the truck.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wait for you to get out there and get connected.
Yes, sir. Give me just a second, please.
Now you take your time. These silly phones, I hate them. They're real handy, but their batteries only last about 28 seconds. My laptop's the same way. I got to keep it plugged in all the time. Battery burns out in about 4 minutes. All right, you good and connected again, Mr. Wagner?
Yes, sir.
Good enough. All right. So, and Mr. Wagner, I understand you've asked me to give you weekend visits. So, because you believe that Ryan right now is ready for full weekends and visitations. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And that's the deal. Like if he started wanting his mama, I'd call her, or like about 1 o'clock in the night, she'd be beating on my window telling me to open the door because she's coming in there because she wants to see her baby.
All right,
So
listen, y'all.
it's-
The visitation is really the hard part of all these orders, okay? If I've got two good parents and two great parents in front of me, like it seems like I have in this case, that are willing to work together to raise the child, then the visitation is really whatever you guys want to do. But I have to have a bottom line framework in place in case you guys stop working together. Mr. Wagner's contact rights with this child are very important to me. And I can't allow Miss Mathis to single-handedly just cut that off by saying, I don't agree with this anymore. You can't have it. Okay. So I'm going to create a framework order. And that way, if things do break down between the two of y'all, Mr. Wagner can fall back on this. Okay. All right. Changing the last name of the child. Let me do some child support calculations. Y'all stand by. All right. Miss Mathis, I think I have everything that I need to make my ruling on this case, but I want to ask you before I do, is there anything else, Miss Mathis, that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Mr. Wagner, is there anything else that you think I need to know on this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir. I got another, I have another kid and, I'm paying like $220 a week on it also.
I have taken that child into consideration when I'm setting your support. Yes, sir. That's a good question, though, just to make sure.
Yes, sir. I don't see her that often. So it's, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Mr. McNulty, is there any further evidence from the state?
No further evidence, Your Honor.
The court's going to find the court is, Miss Mathis, what county do you live in?
I live in Jasper.
Thank you, ma'am. The court's going to find the court has jurisdiction in this case. The court's going to find that Mr. Zachary Ryan Holly Wagner is the biological father of the child, Ryan Wayne Simmons. And I'm now going to name him as the legal father of that child. The parties have agreed on the record this date that Ryan's last name will be changed. His legal last name from this point will be Ryan Wayne Wagner. And that will be part of the order of the court. I'm going to find that it is certainly in Ryan's best interest to name the parties as joint managed conservators, with Miss Mathis as the parent with the right to establish the primary residence of the child. Any request for non-disclosure in this case is denied. I'm going to order Miss Mathis to maintain the current health insurance that she has on Ryan, and I'm going to order Mr. Wagner to pay child support based on the information that he gave me. I'm going to order child support in this case to be $505 per month plus $80 a month in cash medical. I do believe, based on the testimony that I heard, that retroactive child support should be granted. I took into consideration all the factors that both Mr. Wagner and Ms. Mathis gave to me. Retroactive child support will only be granted for the amount of $2,620, and Mr. Wagner will be ordered to pay that back at a rate of $20 a month each and every month till it's paid in full. All payments in this case will begin November the 1st of 2023.